Hey guys, are you unsure how to clean or care for your Doc Martens? Maybe you would even want to completely restore them. Well, in today's video, I'll be unboxing 8 different Docs so that I can explain how we might go about cleaning and restoring them. This way, you guys can get a wide range of different types of leather and how to take care of each one properly. With these methods, you guys can keep your Docs looking great for years upon years to come. So let's get to it. Alright guys, so we have our first pair of Doc Martens and this one looks to be a vintage model. You guys can also tell that it has quite a bit of dust as well as some surface scuffs. We also see that there's some micro cracking from dryness, but overall it seems to be in pretty good condition. What we would want to do for this one is use a leather cleaner to scrub or wipe off all that dirt and debris from the leather, and then you'd simply want to use a leather cream conditioner or mink oil to rejuvenate that leather. This type of leather is called pull-up or oiled leather, and as you can see when I literally pull up that leather, it starts to have some discoloration. A little hack that I use is a hair dryer or a heat gun to warm up the leather and allow those oils and waxes to liquefy a little in order to penetrate the leather deeply. Then you just want to massage those surface scuffs away. And our second pair of Doc Martens here are the 1460, the flagship of Doc Marten boots. And as we see, it is a smooth leather in black, but at the toe area, we're seeing quite a bit of scuffing here, maybe from kicking it on a curb or something like that. But this is kind of the bane for Doc Martens, is getting that scuffed toe. And some people like the way that it looks, but for me, I try to restore those as much as possible to make them look fresh out of the box. We see that the outsole isn't very worn down. I know a lot of people who drag their feet, but try your best not to do that because it will bring down the value of the boot and ultimately you'll have to get a shoe sooner. But yeah, on this other side, we also see quite a bit of that scuffing, but since it's surface, it's actually going to go away quite easily once we re-dye it with either a leather cream or leather dye. And of course, it can use a condition, but overall, there's really not too much dust. So this one will be pretty easy. Alright guys, so for our third pair of Doc Martens, we have some Pascal boots, and these ones, of course, as you guys can see, will need some new laces. And as we're looking at the scuffs on the toe area, thankfully they're on the surface. Most of them are not too deep, so that's going to be good, meaning that if it were deeper, that would present us with a more difficult type of restoration. But just for these, we're definitely going to clean them off with a cleaner and conditioner, and then again, kind of the same thing, because this is more of like a pewter or a brown color, brownish gray. It's going to be a little bit more difficult since we don't have the color itself, but what we can do is just add some leather cream, and the dryness of that color that you see here that's a little bit lighter is going to go away once you add that cream or those oils back into the leather. And again, you can massage that in as well. That should take care of most of it to bring it back to a really nice aesthetic. So that's probably what we'll do. All right, guys, we have yet another pair of Doc Martens, number 4, and these are some of my favorite style of shoes. This is a wingtip Brogue style. The Brogue is like the little cutouts in the leather, those little details along the side there. As we can see, this has a lot of dust, especially in the welt stitching. That can be easily taken off because getting that dust off the rubber is pretty easy. But you guys can kind of get a familiar sense to this type of leather where there's a little bit of scuffing on the top surface and it's creating a little bit of that light discoloration. Again, what we're going to do, we'll clean it off with a cleaner, leather cleaner and conditioner, and then we'll go ahead, snip off some of those loose threads. But ultimately, we'll just go ahead and use that some type of leather conditioner, mink oil, whatever will add that oil back into the leather, rejuvenate it, and give it a really nice supple texture. And pretty much it's easy from there on out. So a lot of the same issues can be taken care of with the similar or same solutions. So just get an idea and a feel for cleaning up your leather this way. All right, number 5, Doc Martens, and these are some really cool boots. This is in a Nubuck leather, and Nubuck varies from smooth leather in that it is just a smooth leather that has been lightly sanded down, so it has more of a matte look and feel. Of course, you guys can see that the welt stitching again has a lot of accumulated dust. We definitely want to take care of that. That's an easy fix. But as you guys see here, it does look more matte, more dusty, which is totally fine. And if you like that look, go ahead and keep it that way. But for us and how it came out of the box, we definitely want to go ahead and clean off. I use a shoe brand cleaner called ShoeMGK, and that one really takes off so much of the dust because of how much suds it creates. But it also conditions it as well. So feel free, I'll leave that in the description for you guys. This one's cool because it has those speed lacing. The style here, as we see, is Soren, and just overall a really, really cool boot. Pretty dusty, but just with a clean and condition, it should be just fine. Yet again, we can see that there's some deeper scuffs on this side, but really just massaging the leather kind of reformulates it and enables you to have a really nice smooth leather look again. Additionally, as I mentioned in some of my other videos, it's really important that you guys fill out your boots when you're not using them with either some type of recycled paper, plastic bags from the store, or of course, shoe trees. All right, guys, we have number 6 here, Doc Martens flagship Oxford, the 1461. And as we see, we have patent leather in black. And unfortunately, in my experience, patent leather is notorious for creasing because essentially it's just plastic overlaid on smooth leather. But looking at the condition here, we see there's quite a bit of dust that we need to take off. There's some type of gunk in the stitching on the side there. Probably someone using some conditioner and lathering that on without making sure that it's evenly coated and maybe not cleaning it off before applying some more. We definitely see that it doesn't need too much recoloring or anything like that. There's really no scuffs on there, so this should be a pretty easy clean. It just needs some new shoelaces. So how we'll go about doing that is just getting our favorite cleaner and conditioner, whatever you guys prefer, and just essentially scrub that down. Patent leather is super durable. Any type of cleaner is going to be perfectly fine on that. And then essentially wipe it down, and you guys can add some shoe polish, leather cream, anything you want, especially if you want a nice shine for that patent leather. When it comes to the creasing, there's really not too much that we can do to recover that, unfortunately. All right, so Doc Martens number 7. Here we have what they call, it's another Pascal, but they call it the Iridescent Crackle, if I am correct. And of course, you guys see there's quite a bit of dirt even on the toe area. We can scrub that off with a conditioner and cleaner as well. We do want to be more careful with this style because we don't want to take more of that crackle off. It's a really cool style, really cool reflectiveness on there, but overall, there's not too much that I know of to restore that crackle on the front. But if you guys know how to restore any of that, please let me know in the comments below. And I'll go ahead and ask you guys to smash that like button if you are enjoying this so far. Feel free to let me know any constructive criticism on what you're interested in learning or something I'm not doing that is clear, so I'd love to work on that. But overall, these boots are not in too bad condition, but as we see here, of course, we definitely want to get as much as that dust off in the welt stitching. And something I wanted you guys to know here is both sides of this leather are suede essentially. They put that iridescent crackle on the suede, but on the inner side of it, you see the suede, which gives it a really nice soft feel as well, which make it quite comfortable to wear. So that's how we'll restore these. Alright guys, this last Doc Martens I'm pretty excited to show you because it's a vintage model, and this is a pretty old pair because, for one, you can tell by the logo, although it's a really good construction, it even comes in a half size, which they don't do anymore. But as I'm feeling this Nubuck, and again, Nubuck is that sanded down smooth leather, this is probably the softest Doc Marten leather that I've ever felt before. But just looking at the overall cleanliness, we definitely want to clean it off with some leather cleaner. We don't want to use conditioner on this because it is Nubuck, so we're going to have to use some type of mink oil spray if anything. But before I do that, I'd probably clean it off, re-dye it with some Nubuck dye from Fiebings. I'll leave that in the description. But yeah, just looking over here, we see that it's of course made in England. Even as you guys can see, that logo is pretty old, not in comparison to the ones that they make today, but definitely a lot of dust in that welt stitching. It is a 4-eye, and overall we're seeing some watermarks in there, but as we use some of that leather conditioner and cleaner, it's going to take that off right away. So it's going to be a little bit more of an extensive cleanup and restore, but I can tell that it has quite a bit of potential, so I'm really excited to see how this one's going to turn out. I'll probably make a video to show you guys, so can't wait for that one. Alright guys, so that concludes this Doc Martens leather cleaning overview. I'll let you guys know how each one turns out, and of course I'll probably choose some of these to make a video, so keep an eye out for those. Honestly guys, I'm trying to meet 1,000 subscribers, so if I could ask each one of you for a favor at no cost to you, just go ahead and click that like and subscribe button at the bottom of this video. I'd greatly appreciate it. As always, I'm open to constructive comments, so please feel free to let me know how I'm doing and what you guys might want to see in the next video. As always, make sure to love your leather, and I'll see you guys next time.